strategy right now. And I really appreciate your honesty. It's a huge reason why I was like, I need to get this guy on the show. Back when I was squatting 400, 450 pounds, quads were massive, muscles popping, veins popping. Then I'd take a trip to Joshua Tree and I'd go to scale rocks or climb and my knee would hurt. My back would hurt. The drive there, the 3-hour drive from San Diego to Joshua Tree, I'm aching, I'm rotating, I'm trying to like find different positions that I'm not in pain in my back, my knees, my elbow, my shoulder, my neck. And so it's like everything that's measured doesn't always count, and everything that counts isn't always measured. You're not always measuring your rotation in training. I mean, you sure can play with degrees of rotation and things like that, maybe specific to a golfer or a tennis player. But there has to be that feeling of like, wow, I sleep through the night now without hip pain.
Yeah.
I can now have sex and I'm not in pain. I can now go on a hike and my knee and my patellofemoral pain is not blasted from, 4 squat sessions this week. So it's like, you're right. It is sometimes tough to create buy-in around hypertrophy and body composition and aesthetic type fitness with rotation and with lateral movement. But pain-free is the way to be. And I've talked to numerous strength and conditioning coaches, including Coach Ed, who used to be the head strength coach for the Lakers, Mike G, who's worked with numerous strength and conditioning guys in the NBA. The best ability is availability. And if you're injured, you can't do the things that you love. And then you also can't be a great father. You can't be a great husband. You can't be a great mom. Can't get down on the floor and do the things that you need to do with your kids. You're constantly thinking about that pain. So now you're developing brain fog. Your health biomarkers and a peek under the hood aren't good. And so what I want to challenge a little bit here is, you and I know this already, but I talk about it often. Most people trade their health in pursuit of wealth. And then later on in life, try to use their wealth to regain their health. How do we change this, man?
Man, it's a tough one. I like, even as you were saying that, I was thinking of like a common life cycle of people within the fitness world, which is I chase performance, and performance could also be aesthetics, because that to get to the top level of aesthetics, you gotta go hard. And eventually they come down the back end of the 30s or into their 40s and like, I just want to feel good. I just like my sporting goals is I want to be able to go play basketball, volleyball, soccer and stuff with my boys, 8 and 5 years old for another decade. Cause this would really suck if I couldn't play hoops with them in some capacity at all. I had a really like salient moment about a month and a half ago. We were at my kindergartner's soccer practice and they were like, all right, parents, come on in. And roughly half of the parents were too fearful of just jogging lightly against 5-year-olds that they would hurt themselves if they didn't come out to the field. And I was like, that has to suck a ton to not be able to do what your kids would want to do, not be able to be an example for them because you either hurt yourself. In this case, they were mostly disuse, right? I'm in the Midwest, so there's a lot of that, unfortunately. But I know enough people in the fitness community because I travel and teach so many fitness professionals that they're just in pain all the time because they're pushing so hard. And I go, that's great, but is it taking away more than it's giving you? Is it just for your ego? Is it just for the Instagram likes? Because you can't go do the basketball with your kid. That sucks.
Progress without wisdom is just noise.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you're hitting the nail on the head. Like one of my favorite things, I was working with an individual a few years ago and he was coming back from a traumatic brain injury. We were just having a conversation around goals and he was very blunt with me. He was from the extreme sports space. He liked to ride motocross, he did dirt bikes, he liked to surf, he liked to base jump, he liked to skydive. Ironically, he injured himself base jumping when the parachute didn't deploy. And I was like, hey man, like what's like your number one goal? How would you summarize like your why right now in wellness and fitness? He was blatantly blunt. He goes, I want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want to do it. And I was like, dang, that's honest and that's clean. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And nobody says that. They're like, hey, I want to squat this, or it needs to be measurable. And I'm like, I push back against that. Everything that's measurable doesn't always count, and everything that counts isn't always measurable. But our world wants data. They want something tangible. They want something that the mind can grasp. But the thing that you can grasp isn't always the thing that enhances the quality of your life. Hey, I have all this money in my bank account, but I'm not peaceful. I don't sleep and I don't have a great family life. You know what I mean? And so it's an interesting thought ideation there. I want to pursue this conversation between trends versus truth. And I think one of the things that I love is going back to like first principles. When you look at strength and conditioning and basic fitness, if you push, pull, hinge, squat, carry, and integrate monostructural movements like run, row, maybe some sort of burpee or double under, maybe some of the machine work on concept two, just to kind of give a basic layout. That simple shit works, man. And I'm a huge believer that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. But the world and Instagram is all about like new packaging means new principles. And it's like, no, it's just better marketing and more distraction. What are your thoughts on, why the industry keeps recycling the same ideas with new names?
It's marketing. It's setting yourself against other people. I even love a fun game to play if you ever want to spend an hour needlessly, is take a look at coaches that are arguing about each other's programs and how it's wrong or it's whatever. I'll give you an example. At PPSC, we do this thing where we're like, we think 3 times as many pulls as pushes in a week is probably good for your shoulder. And people lose their goddamn mind. They're like, why would I row 3 times as much as I bench press? I'm like, no.
Because your eyes are in front.
Yeah. And like how we sit, like there's a lot of like postural, conceptual reasons to do this. There's a lot of muscles on the backside of your body. A lot of them attached to the scapula. Like it just tends to make things happier. And they miss the context where we're saying like face pulls, do 15 to every 5 benches. And it's over the course of a week. It's not in every workout. You don't have to go back and forth. It's not this goddamn specific. It's a general broad statement. But they'll lose their mind. And then I will audit their program for a month. And I go, you're doing the same thing. You just haven't systemized it. And because we're out there educating, we're giving this like kind of loose example to follow that seems to work well for a number of people. And it's not this 250 pound row for 125 press. It's not that.
Yeah. Well said, man.
So yeah, it's just branding.
Pain is feedback, not the enemy. What do most people misunderstand about pain and injury?
That it will always be there. They get worried that it will always be there and that they will slip back into it immediately versus it's a thing that goes away. The other thing is that they are trained to think from doctors a lot of time that if they have pain in their foot, they should stop working out everything. And unfortunately, that is why so many people part of the reason so many people get so out of shape is because, as you said earlier, pain is just part of the game, right? Like it doesn't mean it's a catastrophic injury. It's just discomfort and a mild strain, a mild sprain. You recover from that just fine. You learn it because it's education, like you said, and then you come back. If you just stop every time you have a little bit of pain, you're never going to be working out. And then you're just in worse shape in the future, not like literally physical shape, but you're set up for more injuries because you're less capable because you stopped working out. So number one thing for pain, keep working out. Don't make the pain part worse, but do everything that you can as best as possible. Work the other parts harder.